So this is a deep dive video into another aspect of this newly launched OpenAI's Responses API. They have included built-in file search. So it is slightly tricky to use it when compared to Agno or Pydantic AI. But we will see a complete demo. This may be a two-part series where first part we'll set up the file search mechanism and make it into a web interface. So we understand what it takes to prepare the files and the associated vector store ready to be used as RAG. Now, why should we use OpenAI? Welcome to Techie Talks AI. I'm Sri from Shogini. On this channel, we bring you hands-on demonstrations and insights into the latest tools and trends to help you get started with ease. Don't forget to subscribe and be a part of our journey into the future of technology. See, they are one of the largest funded organizations building these tools. Very often when you want to have a reliable, trustworthy platform to deploy your AI chatbots, etc., number one priority or preference will be stability and the company behind it. So personally, I still prefer OpenAI. Using the libraries provided by OpenAI makes the integration simpler. Another thing is when it comes to RAG, you will normally upload your files to a vector store and host your vector store. Now, depending on the volume of your chatbot traffic, this vector store has to be efficient as well. So now when it comes to OpenAI's vector store, we don't need to worry much about it. They manage the vector store and including maintaining these files. So you don't need another company or service to manage your files and vector store databases. Okay, so let's quickly see what we are going to do. This is a typical chat interface where the user query comes in, and depending on the query, if web search is required, it'll go here. Instead, if this query is relevant for the local knowledge base, it'll come to local knowledge base. So in this video, we are going to focus on how to set up this OpenAI based, completely OpenAI based RAG mechanism. Why I'm saying this is tricky? Because this involves several steps. Let's understand the steps. One is you need to create a vector store. Second, you need to upload files. Third, add these files to the vector store. So these are the steps involved in it. And if you look at the OpenAI's interface, if you come to the platform.openai.com/storage with your account, you will see the vector stores here. So I have the Thai recipes vector store, and I have attached Thai recipes.pdf. Okay. So in order to use such a vector store, we will need to do all these things. You need to have a proper web interface to be able to do these things. But before that, let's manually execute simple Python code step by step to understand the process involved. Okay, so what I have done is I have created a sample code. So here, say demo vector store. The code I am executing is available in the description. All you need to do is to git clone, and you will get this Techie Talks AI folder. Come to OpenAI Responses 001-plain. So there, if you execute docker compose run app space app-vs.py, this script app-vs.py will run in a Python Docker container environment. So you don't need to install anything other than Docker on your local system. So here we are calling this OpenAI's vector_stores create function. So okay, so there is no error. So now let's go to vector store and refresh. See here, demo vector store has been created, but there are no if you select this one, you will notice that there are no files. Okay, so let's delete it. Let's use this Thai recipes vector store for subsequent example. Now here I'm going to list all vector stores. Okay, I'm not looking for a specific vector store because there is no easy way to look for a specific vector store from the name. So that is one of the problem. If you find a better alternative, please let me know. So this will list all the vector stores. Okay, and each of those vector stores will have an ID. Okay, so that can be commented. So this vector store has a list of all the vector stores under my project in OpenAI. Now I have entered the name of the vector store that I am interested in into this variable, and I am iterating through the vector stores object to find the vector store ID of the vector store called Thai recipes. And then I will print the vector store here. I'm just going step by step so that we understand. So now if that name matches, we will get the vector store ID. See here, VS ending in 098. Let's look at it. See here, VS ending in 098. So from the name of the vector store, I fetched the vector store ID. That is what we need to work with vector stores. So when we want to add file search to OpenAI as a tool, this vector store ID is what we need to specify. Clear? Then here we are printing the vector store details. Okay, so that object is printed here. That specific vector store object is printed here. And it's regarding the file counts, it says there is one file. Okay, so if we upload one more file, this will increment, but file names are not there. So now what we are going to do is we will get the file names from the vector store ID. Okay, so vector store ID we are populating here, and then what we are doing is we are printing the file name from the file object. So these steps are required to get the file and manage the file. See here, now the file ID is here and the file name is here, thairecipes.pdf. So clear. So there is a vector store which has a name, and there is a vector store ID also associated with it, and the vector store will have multiple file IDs attached to it, and each of those file IDs will have files in it. Okay, using these tiny functions, you can access and manage the vector store. Now there is create, delete, etc., which are similar to this. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to start the Streamlit application and see how it works. Streamlit application is started. Let's refresh the screen. Okay, so on the left side, we have the vector store name. We are deciding the name of the vector store, Thai recipes. And when you click on this button, let's look at the code, vector store name. So here text input vector store name, which we are pre-filling with Thai recipes. And if you click the button create store, so this button, if you click the button create store, we are checking if session has no vector store ID. That is, it is checking if we have not already fetched this and saved the vector store ID in session state. If it is not there, we are creating the vector store. This is similar to the function that I showed earlier. So create vector store, we are passing the store name and calling the function OpenAI client dot vector underscore stores dot create and name of the store. It'll create and then it'll return the details. Okay, we don't need to print this. It'll return the details of the store. Okay. So in the result, what we are doing is we are fetching the vector store ID and saving it. So when we create a vector store, it is easy to get the ID because immediately the returned object will have the ID. But next time when you start the application, you don't want to create the vector store, right? You only need to create the vector store once. So that is when the problem comes to getting the vector store ID. So here at the start of the application, I am storing the store name Thai recipes and checking if session has no vector store ID. Then I am getting the vector store ID, passing the store name. So this function, if you see, store name comes, and like how we saw in the command line, we are iterating over all the vector stores to get the specific vector store that has the name that we are interested in and returning the vector store ID. And then we are saving that in the session. Clear? So vector store we need to only create once, and every time an application starts, the vector store ID will be searched from the OpenAI's vector stores and we fetch the ID. If you have a better way, please let me know through the comment section. So this part is done. Okay. Now uploading of PDF. So here we can drag and drop PDFs, put it in here, and then the button will come to update, and that will update and add this to our vector store. That is also a tricky part. So I have already added one file. So if you click here, you will see the Thai recipes PDF, which I showed you here. So files attached, one file, Thai recipes PDF. So what we will do is we will upload one more file. Okay. I'm going to upload Thai recipes v2. See here, a file has been dropped here, and now process PDFs. When I click on it, it is uploading to vector store and it's saying success 1. Now if you come to OpenAI interface and refresh and look at Thai recipes, see here, one more file has come to this vector store. So we have a very nice UI for OpenAI RAG use. So we will have a reliable RAG system implemented for our AI chatbot clients. So let's refresh this application, and if you see here, you will notice that our second file also has come. Okay, we don't need that second file. We can delete it from here for now. And refresh this application. And that file is gone. So this is a demo of setting up the RAG system. The functions are custom-made functions, and put it into Streamlit on the left sidebar. So this will give you confidence in building reliable RAG system for your AI chatbot. And next part of this video, we will see how we will include this RAG system into our chat system where we can query it. Okay, so thank you for your time. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and all our videos are like this practical demo with code. So remember to subscribe so that you don't miss any of our videos. Bye-bye.